So I'm getting asked a lot of questions while I'm here at the Nations Cup about my experience in the tournament, some of my predictions, some of my feelings about the teams and the players. So I'm going to start answering some of the questions I'm getting. The one I'm getting most of all, including from Oliver, who asked me this today, is, are Morocco still my favourites to win the tournament? And the answer is yes. I'm not moving from them just yet, even though they did draw with Mali. The reasons I picked Morocco at the beginning, the richness of squad, the technical quality, the killers up front, Ashraf Hakimi, the home support, all of these reasons are still applicable. All of them still apply. And so Morocco are still my number one pick. However, what I would say is there have been teams who are looking stronger than expected. So specifically Algeria. They've also had incredible support. Feels like home games when you're at Algeria matches. They've also got some really lethal players in the final third. Amoura, Mahrez, Bounedjah. They've got players who can control the pitch, all the things I like in teams, all the things I look for. And the other one's, of course, Nigeria. That front three, Lookman, Osimhen, this is a dangerous unit. You've got Iwobi pulling the strings and Didi marshalling the defence. I think what we saw in that first half against Tunisia, particularly with Adams added to the lineup, we've got the option of Chukwueze. If they can really bring that together consistently against the big teams in the knockout stages, Nigeria have to be considered contenders. The next question I'm getting asked a lot, I think Barry asked me this one, is best player I've seen so far with my own eyes. I would say Brahim Diaz of Morocco has just looked a cut above. I love he's obviously quite a diminutive guy, but he's just a difference maker. The way he moves, the way he sees the pitch, the way he senses opportunities. I love the fact that he's a goal first creative player. Like, he's forward thinking, he gets the ball, he looks for opportunity. I would say other standout performances, Marmoush in the first Egypt game against Tanzania was very lively. Salah was quite quiet, but Marmoush wanted to make things happen. He was eager to run at defenders, change the dynamic of the game. Chukwueze in the first Nigeria game, Adams, a lot of Nigeria players have been impressive. And finally, Mohamed Amoura of Algeria. Again, like Brahimi, kind of a small guy, small in stature, big in heart, and big in dribbling ability, big in speed, and big in difference-making potential for Algeria. Disappointment of the tournament so far. Stefania asked me who are my biggest disappointments so far. I will say, apart from the Moroccan weather, I will say maybe Egypt. That first game, just really stodgy. Hemam Ashour, Trezeguet missing chances. They just look disjointed up front, and they've got through as group winners, which is somewhat surprising. I guess maybe it's the weakness of the group, but against Africa, obviously they got their goal in the first half, the kind of questionable penalty, and they then just were kind of clinging on defensive in the second half. Against Angola, they played a much changed team. It was 0-0. Not really much to write home about in that game. So Egypt, I think, haven't really shown much despite being just good, which is just what Egypt tend to do. Destiny asked me, what is the best thing about being at the Nations Cup? Where do I start? This is my 6th Nations Cup, so I've had a fair few experiences of these tournaments, which I absolutely love, and it's a real privilege to return each time and to cover them. The absolute best thing, so I would say personally, getting the chance to come and visit cities and countries and places and neighbourhoods that you would never otherwise go to. But also it's the way that the AFCON brings together footballers, players who have come from all kinds of different stories and are playing at all kinds of different levels. This evening in Rabat, we had a guy playing for Real Madrid up against a guy playing for Power Dynamos in the Zambian top division, and the difference in experience that these players have had, the difference in journeys that they've experienced, which is testament to the breadth and diversity and range of the African continent, the diaspora, and the routes that people can go to come to the Nations Cup. It's something that has never, it's the thing I love about football in general. It's the thing that I feel has never, the appeal of that and how fascinating it is never lost on me. Roma has asked me, do I think Ivory Coast will retain their title? Well, no, I don't think they will, because I'm predicting Morocco to win. But I think they are to be taken seriously, particularly with Amad Diallo and the form he's in the first 2 games. 2 Man of the Match awards, a lovely curling goal against Cameroon. And around him they have experience. Obviously Frank Kessie is a super experienced midfielder. They're the reigning champions. They know what it takes to win the Nations Cup and get over the line. However, I feel like they wouldn't have done what they did in 2023 without that or 2024 without that emotional, the weight behind them of having overcome this group stage performance, the home support to get to the final. Even on that run, it took some unexpected and incredible individual performances from the likes of Sebastian Haller or Simon Adingra, moments rather than performances. Neither of them are here this time, by the way, to get there. And I just don't think that here on Moroccan soil they're going to have that in the locker again. I hope I'm wrong, because they're a lovely team and a really fascinating story, and great to see them doing well. They add a lot to the tournament. I think they can get to the semi-finals. I don't think they'll retain the title. They aren't as complete a team as Morocco. They don't have the cutting edge of Algeria, so that's why I think they will fall short eventually. I think Wilfried Singo is a big miss in defence as well. Tosin asks, who is my favourite Nigerian player and why? Well, I assume we're talking about the current Nigeria team, so I'm not going to talk about some of the old legends we've had. Obviously, JJ Kocher is the one who stands out. Guys like Peter Odemwingie, Eddie Onazi, my namesake, was always a personal favourite of mine as well. Joseph Yobo at Everton. In terms of the current team, my favourite player, it's a tough one. Probably Wilfred Ndidi. I love defensive midfielders. I love the kind of all-action midfield generals in the heart of the park. I think the way they can influence games defensively and offensively, the way it's a proper battle in there a lot of the time, particularly in English football, and having seen Ndidi over the years with Leicester up and down, winning the FA Cup, arriving just after the Premier League success, what he's achieved in there. He's a player who I just love that range of qualities. I'm sad he's not come to Tottenham earlier in his career. There was talk of Man United. I think he could have moved to one of the top 5 Premier League teams and not been out of place. And I'm really delighted to see him now as captain. I think some players can lift their games when they get the armband, and I think that Ndidi could be one of those players. We saw his first ever Nigeria goal against Tunisia. He's speaking like a leader. He's speaking like one of the elder statesmen of this team, and I just love watching him in action. I think quality guy and a class act.